So you're probably watching this because you want to know like what happens after you quit your job, or the lessons that you need to know that I would have loved to have known when I quit my job, so that you don't stress over the stuff that actually happens on an everyday basis and the stuff that is actually normal. So I'm going to share in this video 10 lessons that I think are really important for people, especially if you're in your 20s just like me, so that you can essentially quit your job and actually be stress-free and not worry about the stuff that is normal for online business. Here are 10 lessons that you actually need to hear, and again, number 8 is actually my favorite one, the one that I think is most important. Most people say like stay for number 10 to make you watch the end of the video. Number 8 is actually the most important one to me, simply because it's the one that's helped me a lot. And again, I could have just put that as number 10 to make you watch to the end, but genuinely watch till number 8 at least, and you'll be able to do really well, especially if you're trying to quit your job, you're trying to do an online business in general, or just trying to better yourself for the future. And again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Charlie. I was able to quit my job last year. I'm a regular 22-year-old lad. I was able to quit it when I was 20 last year, and you're probably thinking he was 20 last year, now he's 22. So I quit my job in April last year, and I turned 21 in August, and now I'm 22 now, because obviously my birthday's been. Just to clear that up, just people thinking he quit at 20 and now he's 22. But yeah, I've been able to quit my job due to digital products. It's completely changed my life, and I've helped over 1,000 people along the way. But in this video, I'm going to share 10 lessons for completely free that you can just go and do this yourself and change your life. Number 1, no one has actually figured it out. Like, there's literally no one online who has figured out what works and what hasn't. Like, unless they have figured it out, right? And the only reason that they probably have done that, figured it out, which could mean like loads of different things and different terms for everyone. For my type of figuring out, that would be for me to make £1 million type thing, right? I haven't figured that out yet. Like, I've made a decent amount of money, but I haven't figured that out yet. I've actually figured out a lot of things due to trial and error. But when you see stuff online and you actually speak to them, or like in person, or you meet your biggest heroes or whatever, they haven't actually figured everything out. And that's even the case for me. Like, I'm a few steps ahead of you. You might be at level like 0 in terms of knowledge or like digital products or like online business. I class myself as like a level 7 or 8. Just because I have done a few steps ahead, or I have done certain things that you might even want to get to in your 20s, or even quit your job. I might be a step ahead because of that. But there's a lot of people who have actually figured it out who are at like number 9 or 10. But then there's also a lot of people who hasn't. So that's why I say like no one has figured it out. You can try and copy people online, or you can copy people that are like a couple of steps ahead of you, but they haven't figured out everything themselves. But the good thing is that you can do is you can actually look at these people, or creators or influencers or business people or mentors, etc., and you can just ask them how you can get to that step that they're at, and not try and exceed that, because again, we're all still trying to figure it out ourselves. Like, we speak to people in their 30s or 40s as mentors, or again, when people ask me for stuff like my students, I'm figuring out stuff for them as well, so then I'm teaching them on a further basis. So no one has figured it out yet, right? Number 2, your first attempt won't be it. It won't be the finishing product. So if you're creating a product, or you're creating a digital product, or you're starting a new business, you've just created a new logo for your business, you thought of the name, you thought of the website, you thought of the colors, all this other stuff, right? Don't feel like that is the finishing product. So for me, I've created so many digital products, or I've created loads of different names of products that I've created over time, or my mentoring. So my mentoring, I help people. I've got different products: Digital Wealth Simplified, which is like a one-to-one course thing, and I've got 5 Figure Simplified. And it took me ages to figure out those names, to be honest, just because I wanted something that would help people to get to that next step, and it resonates and stuff. But also before that, I was creating stuff that, like, especially on a coaching level, that were nowhere near what I teach now. It's just completely different. And back then, when you first start, you think, okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be the finishing project. This is what my content's going to be like forever. This is what my business is like going to be for like forever. And that's just not the case. Like, your first attempt is actually probably like one of 100 attempts that you're probably going to have. That's realistic, right? Your website, your store, your products, your name, your brand, your logo, whatever it is, it's not, your first attempt won't be it. In some cases it might. I don't know if there's big companies like Nike, or I don't know, Tommy Hilfiger, or I don't know, EA Sports, for example. Did they come up with those names straight away? I don't know. You never know. So your first attempt just won't be it, right? And I'm sure there's been loads of logos that have been redesigned because they just didn't like them from the start. And I actually think Nike was one of them. But yeah, that's worth a research. So yeah, number 2, your first attempt won't be it. So don't feel like you have to get it all done straight away, because it's probably going to change over time anyway. And especially with digital products, I've created digital products and I've helped people as well. And every single time that we think of a product, sometimes we go off of like the target audience of what we think people are going to buy because of their, like, the target audience's problems and stuff. But over time, you realize that they're going to struggle with a lot more things, and that's when you can include to your digital product or your business in general, or your offer. When you have figured out these new problems that your audience are facing, you can include that to your product, or you can create a new offer or online business service, whatever it may be. And that is obviously changing your first attempt, going step by step, because you've realized that your audience has a lot more problems than you think, and that is when you can offer a new solution. So again, your first attempt won't be it. Number 3, this is really important for me. Invest in skills, not just random stuff. So like the cars, the parties, holidays, like all that type of stuff is great, right? But skills will literally pay you forever. For me, I have a very small group of friends, me, my girlfriend, and my friends, and we just like work non-stop, right? And the only things I invest in, which funny enough, golf, I think golf's brilliant. Like I always thought like golf was for like 50 plus in people in their 50s. Like I just always looked at it like, why would you play that? For me, I think it's brilliant. So I invest in that. That's actually one good thing that I do because, yeah, especially networking as well. Books, I didn't read a whole book until like, well, I'd never read a full book since like year 6 in school, since I was like 10, 11 probably. I've actually read a few books now and I'll do more videos on that. But I think books are brilliant. Like you can buy courses and coaching and mentoring, which is absolutely great, by the way. And I do advise that. But books, I think it just gives you a better perspective on life. And obviously reading is good for the brain, as everyone says. But yeah, ever since I've read and I've expanded my knowledge and invested into my own skills, yeah, it's never been like a bad investment. Obviously, you could pay like £4,000 for mentorship from a guy who doesn't even do the thing they're trying to teach you. So that's a bad investment, right? But the cars, the nights out, the parties, whatever it is, like they're just going to go. It's just a memory, right? And I suppose that's good, but skills would just pay forever. So yeah, number 3, invest in skills because literally stuff doesn't matter really. Number 4, and this one might seem really weird to you, but you need to fail fast. It's literally key for online growth, online business growth, content creation growth, whatever it is. If you fail, that is really good. It sounds really bad, but like that is really good because mistakes literally equal speed. Because the quicker you mess up and the quicker you fail, you know what to not do again, and then that allows you to level up quicker. So the quicker you fail, the quicker you level up, essentially. So if you created a piece of content or you created a digital product that no one bought, then you know that that's like a stepping stone of something out of the way. Okay, I know that doesn't work. Now I can get one step closer to what does work, and you can just keep rinse and repeating what does work until you're essentially doing well, or yeah, you figured it out. So failing is actually really good. And if people say like, oh, you don't want to fail, it's like when we were in school, right? They wanted you to do really well all the time. And yeah, I was always like, well, hang on a minute, like surely failure's all right because then you know not to do that thing again. But if you feel like you did something that you regret, it's like you know not to do that again, which sounds pretty bad, but like you sort of get the idea. Failure is actually key. Number 5, a really important one, stop waiting for the perfect time to do it. As you can see here, there's never going to be a perfect time. There is never a perfect time. Like you get clarity from coming from action, right? So you might feel like the perfect time to post is when you've got that new ring light or you've got that new iPhone or that new camera. Generally, if you're like creating content or you're creating products because you need the best tech, you literally don't. Especially if you're creating content. For me, I just record on my iPhone. This is actually recorded on my iPhone as well. Everyone's probably got an iPhone or good quality phone that you could record and just share your opinion to the world, your knowledge, the info you have, or just your personality. And everyone can do it. So if you're just thinking of the right time to do something or the perfect time to, I suppose like quitting your job, which is what this video is about. The perfect time for me, there actually was one because I had to obviously have a bit of money to like fall back on if I quit my job and all hell broke loose. But perfect time for like content creation, business, growth, everything like that. There's never a perfect time. There never is going to be. You just got to go for it and you've just got to take action. Because then if something does mess up, like at least you're a couple months progress ahead because you failed, like we talked about a minute ago. Now you know that you failed and yeah, you can eliminate all that time and get rid of all the failures and trial and error and just essentially wipe out all the errors. Number 6, like we talked about earlier with books and mentoring and coaching and stuff, but your 20s are literally for taking risks. So that could be buying that course, buying that mentorship, buying that book, whatever it is to expand your knowledge. But you might be somebody who hasn't got like a mortgage or you don't have a house or anything like that. So you don't have a lot of like bills or anything like that. That might be yourself. But yeah, you might have like less responsibility. You might not have like a family or like children to provide for, so you have a lot more money to invest or to take risk essentially, and you've got more time to do it. It's the perfect time to do it because when it gets to like 30s, 40s, 50s, when you're trying to settle down or whatever you're trying to do in life, there's just going to be less time to take risks. So number 6, pretty short one, but you've got fewer responsibilities now and just take more risks. Number 7, I actually think money buys freedom, not happiness. So when you have money, you can actually choose where you work, choose where you live, choose like how you can use your time. And I think for me, that's actually worth more to me than money. So again, money buys freedom, not just happiness. Because when you have money, you can work wherever you like. You can travel wherever you like whilst working. You can spend your time however you like. If you need to go to the doctors, you don't have to ask your boss, can you go to the doctors? Or if you want to go on holiday, you shouldn't have to ask for that. So I think money actually buys freedom. And that's one of the biggest things I would have loved to have known before I started. Like just trying to chase a figure on a screen. Whereas if you think about it, the freedom is worth a lot more. Worth to me anyway. So yeah, I hope that one helps. But getting on to the next one now, which I think is the most important. Number 8, who you spend your time with is who you become. So your circle will either pull you up or drag you down, essentially, right? This is a big one. So if you, I can't remember who said this, but like if you hang around with people who just make ice cream 24/7, in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, you're going to know how to make the perfect ice cream, what flavors taste the best, what's the easiest to make. That's the same outcome with anything. If you surround yourself with people who want to make money and, I don't know, they're the best AI people in the world, you're going to know about AI pretty soon. But if you hang around with people with like really negative vibes, or I don't know, they just want to go out partying all the time, it's just going to, like, unless you're highly disciplined, then fair enough. But if you hang around with people who do that, that is what you're going to become, essentially. And that's just something I think is really important. I've cut out a lot of noise, to be honest, that I can just focus on my own path and just surround myself with people who actually, like benefit me. Otherwise, it's just like you just get that noise and it just drags you down. So that one's very important. Number 8, who you spend time with is actually who you become. Number 9, social media is actually a tool. It's not just for entertainment. So you can actually just scroll like constantly every single day, or you can actually build something insane from it. So a personal brand, an online business, even in real life business or a service. I've seen so many businesses that are just promoting their business online now, whether that's like detailing, cleaning windows, mechanics, anything, right? They're just, even like mugs, like self-made mugs, or cookies, or coffee shops, right? You might think, okay, everything's digital and you just want to sell digital products, but actually you can do a lot more with social media rather than just scroll through it all the time and just like feed somebody else's dream and their lifestyle because you're giving them likes. Whereas like, imagine just doing that for yourself and like bringing in all those likes and followers for yourself. I think it's a lot more than just for entertainment. Whenever I go on social media now, if I see a video that's gone viral, I always save it. So if I end up saving one of your videos, like, that's probably why, because I look at it for inspiration and how I can create that content as well. Because I know it's not just for entertainment, because I actually looked at it and I thought, yeah, that's a good piece of advice, actually. So yeah, social media is a tool. It's not just for entertainment. Number 10, you don't need the traditional path, or you don't need to just copy someone to like do something. You don't need like to just follow somebody, right? You can literally design your own life. Like for me, I've been able to quit my job. I've made a stupid amount of money now with digital products, and now I teach others to do the same, whether you're a complete beginner, whether you're someone who has an online business, whether you're someone who has info that you can easily package into a digital product that people would pay for. Like, it's an absolute dream, right? And I didn't follow anyone else's story. I didn't like copy anyone else's stuff. I literally wrote down, okay, this is what I want to do. This is why I want to do it. Because everyone has a different why and everyone has a different reason to doing stuff. And yours is going to be completely different to mine. You might be doing it because you are somebody who wants to get married next year and you want to make like £10,000. Like, that might be your why, right? My why is completely different, and I'll share that on another video. But yeah, there are the 10 lessons that I think anyone in their 20s should know. To be fair, even if you're watching this outside your 20s, like, absolutely great. But that's 10 lessons I would have loved to have known, and I've been able to quit my job because of those lessons. And there's going to probably be a few more. So if you stayed up to the end, what was the most important lesson for yourself watching this? And have you even faced some of these yourself that's helped you? Just a little question for anyone that stayed to the end. But yeah, much appreciated if you have, and I will see you in the next one.